I think really focusing on what you want to say more than where you want to say it, and not being obsessed with we're a brand that want to be on TikTok or we're a brand that want to be on Instagram, but really focus on what you want to say and then try to figure out what platform can we say that in the best way and communicate that to the audience. And if you're going to down the TikTok path, make sure that you adapt a little, but not too much, and stay true to what your brand is and your values.
Gen Z doesn't exist. None of the generations do. I think, we love catch-alls, we love umbrella terms, and we like to make things kind of easier for ourselves. But if we do that, we're doing ourselves and them a disservice, because we are forcing everything into big generic buckets where there's actually very little relevance to the vast majority of them. So the way that I would look at building relationships with younger audiences is I first of all pinpoint what's your kind of interest demographic, what's your taste community, what kind of values are you going after. As I said previously, if you're trying to appeal to liberally minded, sustainably living Gen Zers, then you're going to want to appeal to them in a very specific way. On the flip side, if you are appealing to conservative-minded Gen Zers who are embracing purity rings all over again and chastity belts, which is happening, that's going to be a very different way of marketing to them and a very different expression of values. And that is a thing. So, we have got just as much polarization and fragmentation in our generation as in any generation, as Gen Z does as well. And I think it's just about looking at, values, interests, taste profiles, cultural niches, and kind of breaking it down from there. And then I think what you can do, which is more generational, is the platforms that they're using, the technologies that they're using. So it's not necessarily the what, which I think is 100% fragmented. It is the how. And I think that's the thing where you can start to bring in the sort of generational cues.
How to build stronger relationships. Probably the hugest shift we're seeing between generations is the involvement of everyday real people in brand conversations, in content creation. You see it massively in how can people consume content. So Gen Z will, on an article, skim the article and go straight to the comments to see what people are saying about it. Millennials read the article and skim the comments. So I think the implication of this is the younger you're targeting, the more you need to involve, everyday people and elevate those voices in not just perspectives, but in the content and even decisions you're making around your brand.
So for Gen Z particularly, but I think that many generations fall into this again, because I think every generation is also changing their own views and opinions. So Gen Z is kind of a good example. They care a lot about companies, why. They want to know why they should care, not just what the product or service is, for example. And I think that you need to give them the freedom to grow and express themselves within the company.
One of the key things is to genuinely try and understand the struggles that those generations are going through. So what I mean by that is a lot of brands kind of, look at numbers, look at, research around the generations and kind of, copy, paste it or vaguely adapt it. But how many brands really look into it with genuine curiosity, and interest, and with a will to also offer a solution? So if you take, if you're 15 and you see like an older relative on TikTok trying to connect with you, it's like your vision of hell probably. It's like why would you trust that person who is appearing there and who looks like they're not being authentic, who desperately tries to connect with you because they're trying, they want that. Why would you trust them? And a lot of brands are doing that. They're just utilizing the medium. But there is no roots, there is no center, there is no message. So obviously then what happens, it feels inauthentic, and if you lose the trust of the newer generation, like it's impossible to build back. Like that's years and years and years of customers that you've lost in the very first years. I don't think you can actually build that back.